All right, ladies and gentlemen. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about Bungie. And as you guys are aware, Marathon has put Bungie in a very interesting place. Marathon, when it was first introduced, got everybody essentially laughing at Bungie and pretty much saying that what Marathon looked like was complete trash heap in comparison to what Marathon used to look like all the way back in its first iteration. But Bungie is in such a bad place right now that not only is PlayStation and Sony removing Bungie's independence and fully absorbing them into PlayStation Studios, but the CEO, Pete Parsons, has also just officially retired. He is going to be stepping down from Bungie after the absorption into PlayStation Studios. And by stepping down, we probably all know exactly what that means, but he's going to be stepping down and he is going to be replaced. And people are laughing. I'm talking like people are literally telling this man to eat shit. They clearly don't like him. So we're going to get into this article and see what's going on. And then we'll get into the fan reaction to all of this nonsense. So it says Bungie CEO Pete Parsons retires with Destiny 2 sentiment at an all-time low and pressure from Sony is growing. Parsons has decided that it's time to pass the torch and head for an exit. So how many people that are watching this video believe that Parsons probably believes in his own mind that Bungie is cooked? Because I truly believe that Bungie is cooked. Ever since I saw what was happening and the fact that they were being absorbed into PlayStation Studios and the fact that they were losing their independence and the fact that Marathon got basically sent back to beta in a way, even though it never really released, but you get what I'm saying? This entire situation has clearly shown me and everybody else that Bungie is just going to be absolutely cooked. They're going to replace a lot of the leadership that is over at Bungie because the people who are currently there are the ones who got the company where it is in the first place. Why would PlayStation Studios want to keep any of them? They're clearly going to want to start changing some people. The longtime CEO, who allegedly, by the way, people hate him for this, he spent $2.4 million on classic cars as hundreds of Bungie employees were laid off on the same day that he bought those cars, will be replaced by Justin Over Delivery Truman. If you scroll down, it says longtime Bungie CEO Pete Parsons announced today that he is stepping down from the role, saying that it's the right time for a new beginning. At the Sony-owned studio, he will be replaced by Justin Truman, formerly the studio's chief development officer, who Parsons said has been instrumental in bringing some of the most memorable moments in Bungie's history to life. Parsons had a long career at Bungie beginning in 2003. While it was still a part of Microsoft, he rose through the executive ranks over the years, helping shepherd both the Halo and Destiny franchises before assuming the CEO role in 2016. But 3 years after helping to secure Sony's acquisition of Bungie for $3.6 billion, he's pulling the ripcord on his time after the studio. Now, me personally, again, I genuinely believe that this person, this CEO, can see the writing on the wall. And he can see that the good times are behind him now. He can see that, there is no good times to be had right now with the company as it being absorbed into PlayStation Studios. There's no good times to be had right now trying to rework Marathon after being caught stealing art for like the fifth time in a row now. There's no good times ahead for this CEO, and he wants someone else to do it. He wants someone else to do the dirty work. He doesn't really want to do this anymore, so he backs away with his multiple millions, and that's basically it. So he says, after more than 2 decades of helping build this incredible studio, establishing the Bungie Foundation, and growing inspiring communities around our work, I have decided to pass the torch. Parsons wrote, "This journey has been the honor of a lifetime. I am deeply proud of the worlds we built together and the millions of players who call them home. And most of all, I am privileged by the opportunity to work alongside the incredible minds at Bungie. When I was asked to lead Bungie in 2015, my goal was to grow us into a studio capable of creating and sustaining iconic generation-spanning entertainment. We've been through so much together. We launched a bold new chapter for Destiny, built an enviable, independent live ops organization capable of creating and publishing its own games, and joined the incredible family at Sony Interactive Entertainment. Today marks the right time for a new beginning. The future of Bungie will be in the hands of a new generation of leaders, and I am thrilled to announce that Justin Truman will be stepping into leadership as Bungie's new studio head." So he even says here that the future of Bungie will be in the hands of new leaders. So that pretty much proves everything that I've been thinking about Bungie. They're replacing all the leadership. When they absorb this company, or when they fully absorb this company into PlayStation Studios, they're not going to let the people who fucked up the company stick around for much longer, unless they feel like they could do a better job. So they're going to be replacing a lot of the leadership that's in charge over at Bungie. And they're obviously starting at the highest point, the CEO, and they're going to be working their way down. Now, a lot of people can have their opinions on this. They could think, oh, it's not going to save the company. And I partially believe you. Like, I don't think this is going to save the company either. I think Bungie's image, unfortunately, is a little bit too far gone now, and people are just not having it. Now, could they come back and have a good comeback story? Sure, they probably can. But the chances of that happening is probably slim to none, to be honest with you. It doesn't really matter who they put into place. But you never know what may happen. Marathon could come out and be an absolute banger, or Marathon could come out and, well, it could become Concord and it could die in 10 days. We never really know when it comes to Sony, but it's all very boilerplate at these valedictory messages tend to be. But the truth is that the writing has been on the wall for a long time, and that's basically what I'm saying. Destiny True is struggling. Marathon is in serious trouble before it even came out. And Parsons himself is riding low after leading Bungie through massive layoffs while allegedly spending literally millions on his own dollars on a vintage car collection. So, guys, let's talk about the reaction now. I want to talk about what people are saying in regards to Parsons actually leaving Bungie. We have another article from PC Gamer saying, eat shit, Pete. In a rare moment of unity, Destiny players bid good riddance to the departing Bungie CEO, Pete Parsons. He says he will not be missed. I do not wish him well. Somebody even said that they hope that all his cars crash. That's the most insane thing. So thanks to a decade of accumulated contradictory live service grievances, Destiny players are rarely unified in their discontent. Today, however, is a special day. Bungie CEO Pete Parsons has announced his departure, offering the Destiny community a chance to join together in slamming the door behind the man whose leadership has become synonymous with studio mismanagement. On the Destiny subreddit, the top-rated reply in this thread discussing the announcement simply reads, eat shit, Pete. Since I started writing this article, it's received more than 200 additional upvotes. I hope all your cars break down, Parsons, writes another Redditor. On the PS5 subreddit, one user writes, good riddance, to which another replies, too bad, rubbish. On Reset Era, the first reply to the news contains one word, good. On the Bungie forums, users are posting threads like RIP Car Collection, where the original poster has written, hallelujah, Pete Parsons is gone. On X, quote tweets are full of celebratory gift posting. On Blue Sky, the dunks are brief and potent. He will not be missed, one user writes. I do not wish him well. These people really don't like him. They do not like Parsons. And let it be clear, you can think what you want about him. You can think that him stepping down is suddenly going to mean RIP Car Collection. You're wrong. This man is a multi-millionaire. If you think that all it takes is for him to lose his CEO job for his car collection to suddenly go away when he's retiring, not quitting necessarily, retiring is a totally different thing. I think you're coping a little bit. As much as you may hate the guy, I think you're coping if you think his car collection is going to suddenly go away because he's not CEO anymore. This man has an insane amount of money. This is Destiny we're talking about. Of course, the tone of the conversation around Parsons' departure isn't anything more optimistic than Destiny discourse usually is, and already doomsayers are reading the appointment of a new studio head, Justin Truman, as an omen of continued woe. And in our world of golden parachutes, it's likely that Parsons will be departing Bungie in comfort after Sony's multi-billion-dollar studio acquisition. So, again, guys, this entire situation, I think it's pretty clear what's going to happen here. Truman is probably somebody who was worked from the ground up by Parson, and they probably think that he is the easiest person to put into the role of CEO without having to go look for someone and maybe even pay someone more, right? They rather promote somebody from within to the role, but they clearly think he could do the job. I am more curious about what other leadership they're going to be replacing. Who else is going to be fired from Bungie, considering what's going on? But you guys can let me know that in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, consider hitting that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next one.